Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. We got some more pre-1961 Apba bats. We got Chicago going to New York on May 1st to take on the Giants in a first of a 3-game series. Leading off for the Cubs playing first base Phil Cavarretta, batting second playing right field Rig Stevenson, batting third playing left field Hank Wilson, batting fourth playing center field Kiki Kyler, batting fifth on the catching Johnny Kling, batting sixth playing shortstop Ernie Banks, batting seventh playing third base Woody English, batting eighth playing second base Johnny Evers, and on the mound batting ninth HIPPO Vaughn for the Cubs. And now for the hometown New York Giants, leading off playing second base Frankie Frisch, batting second playing third Freddie Lindstrom, batting third playing first base Bill Terry, batting fourth playing center field Willie Mays, batting fifth playing left field Mel Ott, batting sixth playing right field Bobby Thompson, batting seventh doing the catching Rogers Bresnahan, batting eighth playing shortstop Travis Jackson, and batting ninth doing the pitching is Joe McGINNITY. Let's get down here to New York and get this game started. And to lead it off here for the Cubs, Phil Cavarretta batting .306, 1 homer and 5 RBIs, going up against Joe McGINNITY, his third start. He's 1-0 with a 6.75 ERA. And that's going to be well hit by Phil. He's going to start this game off with a base hit. And that ball is blasted in the left center field. It's rolling around. Ott doesn't get to it very quick. Now it's going to be a leadoff triple for Phil. So runner down at third and nobody out. Early in the game, the Giants will play back and give up the run for an out. Rig Stevens is up batting .333. He's got 4 homers and 10 RBIs on the year. And that's going to be against the righty, 25, and was that a 9? And that's going to be a swing and a miss, a big strikeout by Joe for out number 1. The runner's still down at third. That brings up Hack Wilson now. Wilson's batting .167, 4 homers and 14 RBI. And that's going to be popped up in the foul territory. And out in foul territory in right field. And Bobby Thompson makes the catch for out number 2. And can Joe get out of this leadoff triple without him scoring? Now there's 2 outs, and Kiki Kyler's up, batting .189, no homers and 5 RBIs. And no, he's not, because Kiki gets a hold of this one, folks. And that's going to be a double in the right field. And that's going to score the run. And the Cubbies now got Kiki down at second with 2 outs and up 1-0. And that brings up Johnny Kling now. And Kling's batting .303, a homer and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Jackson. Fires over to first. But the leadoff triple comes around the score on Kiki's double. Cubs 1, Giants coming to the plate with Frisch, Lindstrom, and Terry. And Frankie Frisch is batting .229, no homers and 4 RBIs. And HIPPO Vaughn is making his third start of the year. He's 1-0 with a 4.5 ERA. Here's the pitch to Frankie, and that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Riggs has got it for 1 down here in the bottom of the first. And we got Freddie Lindstrom due up now, batting .264, 5 homers and 12 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this one, folks, and that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is gone. We got us a 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the first. One out and nobody on for Bill Terry. Batting .255, 2 homers and 10 RBI. And that's going to be a 20. It's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Kiki's got it for out number 2. And Willie Mays is up now. 2 down, nobody on. Mays batting .340, 7 homers, 16 RBIs. And that's a fly ball out to Riggs. That ends the inning. But the Lindstrom homer ties this game up at 1 apiece. To the top of the second we go. See the Cubs' upcoming schedule. They got 2 more games here in New York. Then they go on the road to play the Pirates. And Banks is batting .115, 3 homers and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to right field. And Bobby Thompson makes a good play out there. And that'll be 2-1 down. Woody English is up now, batting .196, 2 homers and 3 RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball out to the other corner out and left. That's got it. 2 up and 2 down. It's up to the Bresnahan to do something here. Let me get Bresnahan to do something here. It was Banks. Now it's Woody English. We got this all messed up here. Johnny Evers is up now. Sorry about that, folks. Evers is batting .200, no homers and 1 RBI. And that's going to be a base on balls. Johnny walks down the first with 2 outs. And Vaughn's up now. Can Vaughn help his own cause? He's batting .500 on the year. Here's the pitch to HIPPO. And that's going to be a ground ball down back to the mound. Nope, that's a swing and a miss. He strikes him out. And that ends the inning. Cubby strand 1 to the bottom of the second we go. We got Ott, Thompson, and Bresnahan due up here. And Mel is batting .224, 4 homers and 9 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Stevenson in right field. He's been busy today. Been busy out there in right field. And Bobby Thompson up now. And Thomas is batting .111 with no homers and no RBIs as we drop a dice. And that's going to be another fly ball out to Riggs in right field. And that's 2 down. And Bresnahan's up now. Bresnahan is batting .333, 2 homers and 7 RBIs. And that's another, guess what, fly ball out to right. And Riggs sets a record held by many, makes all 3 putouts in this inning. See how many putouts that is by Riggs out there. See here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 6 outs has been fly outs to right, folks. Now we got the top of the order due up here for the Cubs. Cavaretta, Stevenson, and Wilson. Field tripled and came around to score in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Frankie at second. And that'll be out number 1. And here comes the man that's been busy out in the outfield, Riggs Stevenson. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out the Mays. 2 up and 2 down here in the third. And Wilson grabs a bat and comes up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He popped up the foul territory, the Thomas out in right field, and that's a swing and a miss. Wilson strikes out. 1, 2, 3 goes to Cubs. We go to the bottom of the third. We got Jackson, McGinnity, and Frisch due up here. And Travis is batting .262, 1 homer and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be a Fly ball out the left field. Wilson's got it for out number 1. Hits it to the other corner. Here comes Joe McGINNITY up now, and he's 0 for 3 on the year. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Joe out. That's his first strikeout of the game. Back to the top of the order we go in. Frisch started this game off with a fly ball to right field. And that's going to be a fly ball to center field, and that'll end the inning. 1, 2, 3 goes the Giants. To the top of the 4th we go. Kiki Kyler due up Kling and Banks. Kyler doubled and drove in a run his first time up. And he gets a hold of this one again. He's figured out Joe. See what he does this time against McGINNITY. And that's going to be another double in the right field. So Kiki's down at second with 1 out. Johnny Kling up. Can he drive in Kiki and put the Cubs up by 1? He grounded out to short his first time up. And that's going to be a pop up down the short. Jackson's got it for out number 2. Out number 1, rather. And Ernie Banks is up now. And Banks is 0 for 1. He flew out to right his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And the runner, nope. That's going to be a pop-up down the third. And the runner stays put for out number 2. So it's up to Woody English to do something here with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. He flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Frisch, and that'll end the inning. The Cubbies strand the lead-off double. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's still a 1-1 game. You got Lindstrom, Terry, and Mays due up here in the bottom of the 4th. Lindstrom hit that solo homer, tie this game up in the bottom of the 1st. That was the 6th homer and 13th RBI of the year. And that's going to be a base hit. Freddie keeps it going here. That's a base hit in the right field. Reeks couldn't get to that one. And that brings up Terry now with 1 out and no outs and 1 on. Terry flew out to center his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. A big strikeout by Vaughn. Only his second one of the game. Brings up Mays now with 1 on and 1 out. He flew out to right his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball. Nope, that's going to be he's an HPL. Nope, that's going to be a hit by pitch. The Giants ain't happy about that. He hits Mays. Makes first and second and 1 out for Ott. And the Cubbies get the double play ball here off Ott. He flew out to right his first time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. And Vaughn's having control problems. It doesn't look like he hit Mays on purpose now. He can't find the strike zone. So bases are loaded. They'll play back for the double play. And Bobby's up. He's 0 for 1. Flew out to right. And here's the pitch to Bobby. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. And Riggs doesn't get to that one, folks. And that's going to be a single. And that's going to be an error on Riggs. And the runner on second's going to score on the error. And the runner on first is going to get down to third. So that's going to be a single. It's going to be an E9. Runner on second scores. Runner on first gets down to third. So we got first and third now. And still only 1 out. And that brings up Bresnahan now. And it's a 3-1 ball game. Costly error out there by Riggs after making all them good plays. Brings up Bresnahan, who flew out to right his first time up. And he gets a hold of this. And here comes the Giants, folks. This is what they do. And that's going to be a triple into right field, and that's going to clear the bases. Triple into what? I said right field. Bresnahan can't get to that. Stevenson can't get to that, and it is now a 5-1 ball game. Runner on third and one out, and that'll force the Cubbies to bring the infield in. Let's see here. It's not going to let me look at it that way. Do it this way. So 3 of those 5 runs are earned. The other 2 are unearned. And that brings up Jackson now. He's 0 for 1, flew out the left. And that's going to be a 9 against a 21. And that's going to be a ground ball. Ground ball back to the mound. And he's going to look the runner back to third. Fire over to first. And that's out number 2. And that brings up McGINNITY now. And Joe is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Riggs. He makes the catch this time. But the Giants score 4 and take a 5-1 lead. We go to the 5th inning. We got Evers, Vaughn, and then Phil due up. As you can see, the team comparisons, the Cubbies are 7-6, batting .215, a 283 on base percentage, slugging .400, and a 683 OPS. And the Giants are 8-4, batting .264, 320 on base percentage, slugging .421, and an OPS of 740. And Johnny walked his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. He hits it to his counterpart. Frisch makes the play for out number 1. And that brings up Vaughn now. He struck out his first time up. And he strikes out his second time up. 2 quick outs here in the 5th. Back to the top of the order. And Cavaretta tripled in the first and came around the score. Grounded out the second and the third. And that's going to be a... against a 22. That is going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes him out to end the inning. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Top of the order due up here for the Giants. Frisch, Lindstrom, and Terry. Frankie's 0 for 2. He's flown out to both corners, right and left. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short for out number 1. And you can see the Cubbies have scored 57 runs on 21 homers, and they've been caught stealing once. The Giants have scored 78 runs on 38 homers and have 1 stolen base. And Lindstrom's up. He has homered and singled a perfect 2 for 2, but not anymore because Johnny's got that. Fires over to first, and that's 2 down. Brings up Terry now. And Bill's 0 for 2. He's flown out the center and struck out. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. That ends the inning. 1, 2, 3 goes the G-men. To the top of the 6th we go. We got Stevenson, followed by Wilson and Kyler. Riggs is 0 for 2. Struck out and flew out the center. And he gets a hold of this. Riggs trying to make up for some of them misplays out in the outfield. And that's going to be a leadoff double. And the Cubbies need base runners down by 4. Wilson's up now with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Cubbies need to at least get a run in here. And Hack is 0 for 2. He's popped up to foul territory and right and struck out. And that's going to be a base on balls. Nope, I'm sorry. That's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes here. And that's going to come back and strike him out, folks. Comes back and strikes out Wilson. So now there's one down and nobody. A runner at second. Wilson's 0 for 2 for 2. Kyler's 2 for 2. He's doubled twice in this game. Can he do it again? He's going to do something. He squares this ball up. He's having a fine game against McGINNITY. And that ball is, let's see, against 24. That's going to be a home run, folks. Kiss it goodbye. Kiki comes up with a homer out in the left field, and that makes this a 2-run ball game. It's 5-3. Kiki's all over McGINNITY today. Cuts the lead in half. It's now 5-3 with Johnny Kling up. Kling is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and popped up to short. And that's going to be a base on balls. And all of a sudden, McGINNITY's struggling here in the 6th. That brings up Mr. Cub himself, Ernie Banks. And Banks is 0 for 2. He's flown out the right, popped up the 3rd. And that's going to be a ground ball back to McGINNITY. And he's going to strike him out instead of ground ball. So Banks is down on strikes. That's McGINNITY's 7th strikeout of the game. And now it brings up Woody English with 2 outs and Kling down at first. He's flown out the left, grounded out the 2nd. And that's going to be a fly ball. Nope, that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes out English, back-to-back strikeouts. That ends the inning, but Kiki Kyler hits a 2-run homer, makes it a 2-run game as we go to the bottom of the 6th, 5-3 New York. We got Mays, Ott, and Thomas due up here. Mays is 0 for 1. He flown out the right and was hit by a pitch. And that's going to be a base on balls. Willie trots on down to first. Let's see when he can take off. And the Mays is going to take off, I believe. Let's see how that's read. Not yet, he can't. So he's going to stay put with Mel Ott up there. He's 0 for 1. He's walked and flown out the right. And that's going to be a 17. And that's going to be a pop up down the short. And Banks makes the catch for out number 1. And Thomas is up now. And Bobby's 1 for 2. He has flown out the right and had a 2 RBI single his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Wilson for out number 2. And Bresnahan's up now. And Rogers 1 for 2 with an 2 RBI triple. And that's going to be hit back to Vaughn. And he's going to fire over to first. Now to end the inning. And the Giants strand 1 to the top of the 7th we go. We got Evers, Vaughn, and the top of the order due up here. And here's the pitch to Johnny. And that's going to be a fly ball out to left field. Ott makes the catch for out number 1. As you see the Cubs upcoming schedule, they got 2 more games here in New York. Then they're going to travel to Pittsburgh, take on the Pirates. We're going to have a pitch hitter here for Vaughn. See who's going to come off the bench here against the righty. I think Gallen's going to come off the bench.
Augie.
What are we going to do?
Un galán.
Gallon.
All right, they're going to pitch to Augie Gallon. He's batting, well, it's his first plate appearance of the year. Let's see what Augie can do here with one out and nobody on. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field for out number 2. 2 fly balls, 2 outs. And back to the top of the order, and Gavaretta, and he's 1 for 3 with a triple. And the first came around the score, grounded out the second, and struck out. And that's going to be a comebacker to Joe. He fires over to first, and that ends the inning. Now let's see who's going to come out and pitch the bottom of the 7th as we go to the 7th inning stretch. And you got righties coming up here. And I think Root's going to come out of the bullpen. Yeah, Charlie Root's going to come out of the bullpen and pitch. And this is Ruth's 4th appearance, no record with a 3.38 ERA. He's got Jackson, McGinnity, and then Frisch due up here. Jackson's 0 for 2. He's flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a 16. That's going to be a fly ball in the center field. And that's out number 1. And Joe McGinnity's up now. And McGinnity is 0 for 2. He is struck out and flown out. And that's going to be a fly ball out to left field. Wilson's got it. And that'll be 2 quick outs, 2 fly balls, 2 outs. Back to the top of the order in Frankie Frisch. He is flown out to right and left, grounded to short. And that's going to be another fly ball out to Wilson and left. 1, 2, 3, go the Giants. To the top of the 8th we go. We got Stevenson, Wilson, and Kyler due up here against McGinnity. And Riggs is 1 for 3. He is struck out, flown out, and doubled in the 6th and came around the score. And he nails this one. Old Riggs has got himself a single as Thomas gets over there and cuts it off quick. Holds him to a single. Brings up Hack Wilson now with nobody out and a runner down at first. Tying run now to the plate. And Wilson's 0 for 3. He has struck out twice and flew out in foul territory to right. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Ott and left for out number 1. And here comes the man. Tiki Kyler's having a whale of a game. He is 3 for 3, 2 doubles, an RBI double, and a 2-run homer. Here's the pitch to Kiki, and he's keeping it up here, folks. That's going to be a ground ball down the 3rd. Nice play down there by Lindstrom. And a 32 and a 6. That should be fielding column 1. That should be around the horn double play here. Yep. That's going to be the old 5-4-3 double play. And that gets them out of the inning with nobody scoring. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still a 2-run game, 5-3 New York. Lindstrom, Terry, and Mays due up here in the bottom of the 8th. Charlie's got to keep this a 2-run game. Freddie's 2 for 3. He's got a homer, singled, and grounded out. And that's going to be a 16. That's going to be a fly ball in the center field for out number 1. And Bill Terry's up now. And Terry's 0 for 3. He has flown out to center and struck out twice. And that's going to be against a 15. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Terry out for the 3rd time. Terry gets the hat trick here today. 2 outs now for Willie Mays. And Mays is 0 for 1. He's walked, been hit by a pitch, and flew out to right. And that's going to be another base on ball. It's not what you want to see here. And Mays is going to take off and try to get down to second in the scoring position. And we don't have Ott. We got to do something here with Ott. Kling. So Ott's up, like I say. So that'll be 2, a 31. Mays trying to steal. A 61 and lower. He's in there. And he's in there with a stolen base. Mays makes it down to second. Now with 2 outs. And Mel Ott's up. And Ott is 0 for 2. He has flown out the right. He has popped up the short end wall. And that's going to be a base on balls. And now you got runners on first and second. All this happening with 2 outs. He's got to keep it a 2-run game. Thomas is up now. He is 1 for 3. He has flown out, had a 2 RBI single, and flown out his last time up. And that's going to be another fly ball. This out to Wilson, out of in the inning. Charlie gets out of it with nobody scoring. To the top of the 9th we go. And the Cubbies trailing by 2. They'll send Kling, Banks, and English up here. McGINNITY trying to go to distance. They do have the bullpen up and ready just in case. And Johnny Kling is 0 for 2. He's grounded out the short, popped up the short end walk. And he gets a hold of this. Johnny Kling does. And that ball is going to be driven into the gap in right field. And that's going to be it for McGINNITY, I believe. And let's see here. Who's going to come out of the bullpen? Tying run coming up to the plate and nobody out. And Grissom's going to come out of the pen and try to nail this down for Joe. Joe can't quite make it through this 9th inning here. 1 on and 1 out. Tying run up to the plate. And Grissom comes in. McGINNITY goes out. This is Marv's 5th appearance. 3 saves and hasn't given up an earned run. He's got Banks up now with a runner down at second. And the tying run at the plate, and Mr. Cub himself, he's 0 for 3. He's flown out, popped up, and struck out. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 23. That ball's going to be hit back to the mound. 24 and a 1. 24 and a 1 is fielding column 2. That's first on air, running to third. Pitcher throws ball wild. The third, F runner out trying for home. Nope. So he'll stop at third. So that's going to be an E1. And we got runners on the corners now and still nobody out. As Marv doesn't help his own cause here. First and third. And no play back for the double play. English is up. Woody is 0 for 3. He's flown out the left, grounded out the second and struck out. And that's going to be a 23 and a 7. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. And with nobody out, I don't think Banks is going to take a chance here. And he's not. So we're going to have first and second, still nobody out. And it's a one-run ball game, folks. English is now down at first. Banks down at second. Johnny Evers is up. Still nobody out. Johnny is 0 for 2. He has walked, grounded out the second, and flew out the left. And that's going to be a base on balls. Marv has just loaded the bases, folks. It's going to force the Giants to bring the infield in. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Charlie. See who's going to come off the bench here and try to bust this game open here for the Cubs, trailing by 1. It's either going to be Charlie Grime or Stan Hack. I think Charlie Grimes going to come off the bench here. Infield in. All Grimes got to do is hit it past him. Might score 2. And Charlie is coming off the bench, grabs a bat. Charlie is batting .286 on the year, no homers and no RBIs. Bases juice full of Cubs everywhere you look and nobody out. Banks at third, English at second, Evers at first, and Charlie Grimes at the plate. Here's the pitch to Charlie, and that's going to be a infield. Let's see what the infield is. 8, 17, 18, 18, 27, 33. It'll be fielding column 1. High infield fly. Mitch is judged by the third baseman and falls uncaught. Batter is automatically out on the infield fly rule. And so that's going to be an automatically a pop, what is called a pop up down the third. Infield fly rule was in effect. So Charlie doesn't get it done. We're back to the top of the order now, and 1 out and base is still loaded. And Phil is 1 for 4 with a triple. He's grounded out the second, struck out and grounded back to the mound. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second with the infield still in. A 33 on a 9. Should be fielding column 1. And it is. And that's going to be safe at first. Runner out at home. So they're going to come home with it. Nice play down there by Frisch. Now there's 2 outs, second and third. And can Marv get out? The bases loaded, nobody out. So bases are still loaded here, folks. For Riggs Stevens. Riggs 2 for 4. He has doubled and singled, struck out and flown out. It's up to Riggs. Bases loaded, nobody out, and it's still a 5-4 ball game. Here's the pitch to Riggs. And that's going to do it, folks. Marv's going to get out of this mess. That is going to be a ground ball back to the mound. He'll fire over to first. He loads the bases and gets out of it. The Cubbies very disappointed. Lose this game 5-4. Take a look here at the box score. Leave the bases loaded with nobody out. Unbelievable. Thought for sure they was going to win this game or at least tie it up. Take a look here at the box score. They out-hit the Giants by 4, but didn't outscore them. The Giants 5 runs on only 4 hits and an error. The Cubs 4 runs, 8 hits and an error. Rig Stevens 2 for 5. And Kiki Kyler tried to win this game by himself. He was 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Cubbies were 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position, but 0 for 3 with the bases loaded in the ninth. Left 7 men on base. That means they was 4 for 7, folks. Before that ninth inning, they was taking advantage of it until that ninth. The Giants, Lindstrom was the only one that had 2 multiple hits, and one of them was a homer. So old Fred, he did his job. The Giants were 2 for 5. The Cubbies only left 7 men on base. 3 of them was in the ninth. The Giants left 4 men on base. And Vaughn gets the loss. He's 1-1, 6 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Walked 2, struck out 3, and gave up a homer. Charlie comes in, pitches 2 nice innings, walked 2 and struck out 1. And McGINNITY, he pitches 9 innings and hangs on for his second win. 7 hits, 4 runs, walked 2, struck out 8, and gave up the homer. Grissom made it interesting, but he picks up his 4th save, gives up a hit and a walk, and then gets out of the mess. Take a look here at the standings as the Giants increase their lead here in the National League. They are now a game and a half up on the Phillies. The Reds and Braves are 2 games back. Cubbies and Pirates are 2.5. Dodgers 4 games back, and the Cardinals 5.5. Chuck Klein leading the National League with that .434 batting average. Mays with 7 homers. Hank Aaron with 17 RBIs. Clark Griffith with that 1.8 ERA. 3 pitchers tied with 3 wins. And Grissom now with 4 saves on the year. Hank Aaron's leading in MVP voting, and Noodles is leading in the Best Pitcher Award. I want to thank you all for tuning in, watching this first game of a 3-game series. See what the pitching matchup will be for game number 2 of this series. And we'll have Warnick going up against Hubble. This will be the next matchup. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for reminders. On your way out of New York, hit that like button and leave a comment. Till next time, you have a great day and take care.